St. Isidore's farm. We are in the process of converting a metal Quonset hut on our property into a woodworking shop, which means framing, insulating, and sheathing the inside of it. And as a part of that ongoing project, we're also putting in a bathroom and a utility sink. For that utility sink, with a lot of the things that we plan to do with it, we both want and need hot water out here. So we got an EcoSmart, the Eco 8 electric tankless water heater. Thought I would try to make a quick video just talking about this and a bit of a review. Given that when I was looking at it and trying to research, there weren't a lot of things out there specific to this unit and might be helpful for other people. Got this on Amazon and using Amazon Prime. When we got it, we paid $175 with free 2-day shipping. Unfortunately, the day before I ended up ordering it and the price dropped to about $165, thought it would stay there and it came back up. And now I believe it's up to about $225 or $235. Couldn't tell you why there's such a price fluctuation on Amazon, but there is. We also got Webstone, got these Webstone tankless water heater service kit, hot and cold set or full, what does it say? Full port forged brass ball valves. So this is recommended to go with any tankless water heater, whether it's gas or electric, so that you have a way of cleaning out or purging the inside of the tankless water heater from time to time from sediment or scale or anything else that might get into it. So you have to be able to shut off, or easily, this makes it easier to shut off the water going to it and open up valves that bypass and flow through the system. We also ordered all of this through Amazon, and I'll put the links below to the things that we got. We also got this 3M Aqua Pure scale inhibition system. So this is designed to help reduce scale from getting into the tankless water heater. And since we've got water coming from a well, especially, we wanted to do this. It's a stainless steel, if I bend the box, a stainless steel T-fitting. It's a really beautiful fitting when you look at the machining on the inside of it, and then this replaceable cartridge that goes inside of it. All right. Let's look at some other things up close and talk about the installation. First thing to talk about the installation is, if you're like me, you had to rough this in, was the question of what gauge wire you have to run for this unit. And they are all over the place, this manufacturer, on what gauge wire you are supposed to run. I saw both 8 gauge wire and 10 gauge wire. And even in the literature and the box, there is variation. So on this quick install guide models, if you look at this, I hope you can see it, I'm doing this myself. It says the Eco 8 140 amp breaker, the average amperage draw is 37 amps, and it says number 8 average wire gauge. In the actual installation instructions brochure, it says Eco 8 and the same thing, number 8, run an 8 gauge wire. On the box, it says, you can see, Eco 8, 240 volts, 40 amps, cable required, number 10, 10 gauge wire. Oh, let's do it in English. 10 gauge wire. We ran 8 gauge wire. I figure it's a little bit more expensive to run it, but I did not want to have issues, and so since most of their information said 8 gauge, but I've seen on reviews that people ran 10 and didn't seem to have any problems. So we ran 8 gauge wire over here, set a square D switch, and then the unit itself comes with about 30 inches of wire. It is in a white, it's very flexible cable in a white casing that goes in. It has a black and red wire and a ground wire. There is no neutral wire. So that is the electrical setup for this device. As far as the plumbing installation, Everything was pretty straightforward. Cold water in and then hot water out. I showed you putting already that we're using the Aqua Pure sediment filtration or scale filtration system. And then you've got to put in the clean out valves for a tankless water heater. The biggest challenge, which I'll show you in a second, was the fitting. So there's a lot of reviews on Amazon in terms of how to connect it. And I'm guessing that originally this unit, you had to have, it used 5/8 OD compression fittings. So you had to actually run a 1/2-inch copper pipe into the fittings, which is not really convenient because that means you got to get things pretty accurate when you're doing running all of your water lines and get them to run directly into the side of it and then clamp those fittings down. They must have gotten a lot of complaints. There were certainly a lot of, in the reviews, you see people talking about this issue of how to get the fittings on, whether you can use putty or Teflon tape. So let me show you what we did and how that worked, and then we'll actually turn the unit on, see how hot it is, and that'll be it. Here's the instructions that come with this EcoSmart heater. Plumbing. This water heater is supplied with 3/4 inch NPT connectors. No, it's not. Do not weld or use Teflon or paste. Water heater hoses are recommended. Okay, so what it comes with are 5/8 inch OD compression threaded fittings for both the inlet and the outlet. What they now supply with it, probably because of people's frustrations, so this is what most of us use, which is a 1/2-inch FIP connector, right? But 1/2-inch FIP, even though it will start to thread onto a 5/8 OD fitting, the threading is different. It's not the same, so it won't seat down all the way and you won't get a solid connection. So I'm assuming, because so many people have complained about this, they now supply you with a 5/8 OD, that's this part, fitting that goes on here, that moves it to a 1/2-inch FIP. So they say don't use paste or Teflon tape, but if you watch this, you can thread this all the way down until it bottoms out completely on here, and it's still got just a tiny bit of play. There's no real compression going on there. So I'm going to put Teflon tape on here as I install this, and we'll see if there's no leaks, because otherwise I don't see how. I mean, I could see if it sort of bottomed out, and I mean, you tightened it as much as you could and there was still thread showing, but that's not the case. So let's put some Teflon tape on here. 3 wraps of Teflon tape, and see if this feels a little bit more secure on here as we put it on. It may still bottom out. I think it's going to. Well, that's unusual. We'll see what happens once we turn on the water if it leaks. 3 wraps of Teflon tape, and then cranking these down with a crescent wrench. They do not seem to be leaking at all. So the water is on and through here. So now we're going to go out, and it says to run water for 2 to 3 minutes through the heater before we turn it on. So let's go run some water through here real quick. The moment of truth. Turned on the breaker, and so should hit this switch, and it says that the LED lights should come on and then go back off, and that's normal. So here we go. All right, came on and went off, and then we just press this and press it again, turn it up, and then dial to the temperature we would like it to go to. Let's see, we'll go all the way up to, how high will it go? 140 degrees. That's a little hot. Let's go down to 120, and see what happens on at the faucet. Moved it up to 140 degrees. I don't know what the flow rate, gallons per minute is. I mean, this is coming straight out of the pipe, so. It's definitely warm. Now it's getting a lot hotter. Yeah, I would say at this flow rate right now, it's hot. It's hot water. It's not too hot to touch, but it's definitely hot, which is perfect for our application. But it is not getting hotter, so hot that I can't have my hand in it. But it's definitely hot, to be sure. So it works well. Well, that's it. That's the Eco 8 tankless water heater, talking about the installation for the electrical and the plumbing, the little bit of challenges that we had. The one thing I want to add is that I went back and kept playing with the water. I reduced the flow rate coming out of the unit, and the water got much hotter with it set at 140 degrees. So hot I could not keep my hand in it. So it will definitely put out very, very hot water. It just depends on how much water is going through the unit, and all that data is on their website. I think people talk about it in the reviews as well. Well, obviously we just installed it, so I can't talk about how it works long term, but I can say that everything went in pretty smoothly. Very happy with it so far, and we'll see how it lasts long term. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful if you're considering getting one of these tankless water heaters. And if you like this video and want to see some of the other things we're doing or this woodworking project, check out our channel, consider subscribing, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care and God bless.